Have you ever noticed small changes in an elderly loved one that didn't seem important at first, but later made sense? Maybe it's the way they've started struggling to lift things they used to carry easily, or how they get tired so much quicker than they used to. At first you thought it was just a part of getting older, didn't you? But now you're starting to see a pattern. Something's not right. But what if I told you these changes are actually signs of muscle loss, and if left unchecked it can make everything harder for them, sooner than you realize? I know it's tough to think about, but muscle loss in the elderly is something that often slips through the cracks. It doesn't show up with flashing red lights. So many families miss it. You see it little by little, and before you know it, your loved one's independence starts to slip away. The things they used to do with ease become challenges, and those little daily activities that once brought them joy, suddenly they're harder to enjoy. But hey, erase the good news, this doesn't have to be the end. If you catch muscle loss early enough, you can actually reverse it. And trust me, when you do, it can change everything for them, from their ability to walk across the room to their overall happiness and health. This matters because you can give them more years of independence, joy, and dignity. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what muscle loss in the elderly looks like, but you'll also know how to take simple steps that can actually reverse it in just 7 days. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's possible. It'll walk you through the signs to watch for the things you can do to help them regain strength, improve balance, and even prevent those falls that we all worry about. You'll leave this video knowing exactly what you can do today to give your elderly loved ones a better tomorrow. So stay with me. And before we dive in, if you're here and you care about making sure your loved one stays strong and healthy as they age, drop a comment below and just type "I'm here." I want to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you want more real tips and advice to help you take care of your aging family members. Because let's be hones, we could all use a little extra guidance when it comes to elderly care. Right now, let's get started. One, loss of strength in everyday activities. Imagine your mother, who once spent hours tending to her garden, lifting heavy bags of soil and walking around the yard with ease. Now she struggles to hold a simple watering, and her arms trembling as she tries to water the flowers. You think it's just age, she's getting older, that's all. But what if I told you that this isn't just a sign of aging? What if it's a signal of something more serious, something you can actually do something about? Muscle mass naturally starts to decline as we age. This happens because of a combination of factors like hormonal changes, a decrease in protein synthesis, and sometimes inactivity. The muscles begin to weaken and shrink, and before you know it, those everyday tasks she used to do with ease become almost impossible. Now, hey, erase the thing, many families brush this off, assuming it's just a normal part of growing older. But muscle weakness is a symptom of something that's often overlooked, and it's a huge issue. When muscles aren't strong enough to help you lift, walk, or even move around, you'll start to notice a drop in their quality of life. What can you do? Start encouraging your loved ones to do gentle strength exercises. No need to start heavy lifting, but things like light weights or resistance bands can work wonders. Even small efforts, each to like a couple of minutes of exercises here and there, can have a significant impact. And the best part, it doesn't take much, just a little consistency. But strength loss isn't the only thing to keep an eye out for. Another red flag is 2, sudden weight loss. Your grandfather, once a man with a hearty appetite, now barely touches his meals. You think, well, maybe it's just that he's not hungry these days. But something isn't adding up. He's losing weight, and not just a little. It's not like he's dieting or cutting back on food intentionally. It's happening for no clear reason, and it's concerning. Hey, erase what's happening when muscles shrink. The body has to start burning fat and lean tissue to make up for the lack of muscle mass. That leads to unexpected weight loss. And this isn't just about appearances, it's a sign that the body is struggling to maintain itself, and it's often a signal that something deeper is wrong. But hey, erase where many caregivers go wrong. They think this weight loss is just a part of getting older. They assume it's just another thing they have to deal with as their loved one ages. But hey, erase the truth. This is muscle loss, and it can have a major impact on mobility strength and overall health. So what can you do about it? One of the most effective ways to combat weight loss is by focusing on protein. Make sure your loved one is eating a high protein diet, and try incorporating smaller, frequent meals throughout the day. If they're struggling to eat enough, try adding protein shakes or smoothies to their diet to boost their intake without overwhelming them with large meals. While weight loss is definitely concerning, it's not the only sign you should be looking out for. Another thing to consider is 3. Poor balance and risk of falls. No. Picture your aunt who once moved around with such grace now struggling to walk down the hallway without wobbling or needing to grab onto something for support. She's been telling you she's just feeling a little off balance, but that's not something to just ignore. It's a problem that's tied to muscle weakness. You see, when muscles, especially in the legs and core, start to weaken, it becomes harder for the body to stabilize itself. The muscles are supposed to keep us upright and steady lose their strength, and the risk of falls increases dramatically. For the elderly, a fall is one of the most dangerous things that can happen. It can lead to fractures, hospital visits, and even long-term disability. A lot of times families think these balance issues are just part of aging, but they're really signs that muscle deterioration has affected the coordination and stability needed to keep balance. It's not just about getting older, it's about the loss of muscle that impacts everything from walking to posture. So what can you do to help restore balance? There are simple exercises like Tai Chi or even just standing on one leg that can help strengthen those key muscles. Start slow and encourage your loved one to do these exercises a few times a week. You don't need anything fancy, just some consistency to help them rebuild strength and balance. And if balance is affected, you might also notice that. For fatigue and decreased energy levels, imagine your elderly father who used to take long walks every day now tiring after just a few minutes. He says he's just a little worn out, but you can tell something's not right. That energy he once had is fading, and it's concerning. He's not recovering the way he used to. What happens here is that muscle mass plays a huge role in energy production. When muscle mass decreases, the body becomes less efficient at using the calories it takes in, and that leads to fatigue. So instead of feeling energized after even a small amount of activity, your loved one might feel drained and exhausted far more easily. Now, families often chalk this up to just getting older. And while it's true that we slow down with age, it's also true that muscle loss contributes heavily to fatigue. It's not just about feeling tired, it's about the muscles not having the strength to help the body move, recover, or even feel energized. So what can you do? Focus on encouraging short restorative activities. Things like taking a short walk or stretching throughout the day can help keep energy levels up. The key here is not pushing them too hard. Small bursts of activity are more effective than long, tiring sessions. It's about consistency and balance. But energy isn't the only issue we're dealing with. Let's talk about one of the most important signs of muscle loss, which is 5. Change in mobility. Think about your grandmother. She used to walk around the house with such confidence and independence. But now she's asking for help just to get to the kitchen. At first, you think it's just her age catching up with her. But as you watch, you realize she's struggling with something much more significant than just aging. Her muscles are weakening. When muscle mass declines, it becomes harder for the body to perform even the simplest movements. The ability to walk, stand, and even sit down becomes a challenge. And this can lead to a need for support, things like a walker cane, or even help from a caregiver to move around. Many families assume that mobility issues are just a natural part of aging, but more often than not are the result of muscle loss and joint weakness. Muscle loss is affecting their mobility, and this can have a major impact on their independence. What's the solution? Focus on strength-building exercises. Encourage your loved one to keep walking, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. Stretching can also help improve flexibility and mobility. If you're unsure where to start, a physical therapist can help design a personalized program that works for them. Now, we've gone over these signs, but let's get to the most important part. You're probably wondering, what can I do to reverse this muscle loss? Well, let's talk about how you can start making a difference in just 7 days. It's tough, isn't it, watching someone you love, someone who's been strong their whole life, suddenly struggle with simple tasks. It can be absolutely heartbreaking. You can't help but wonder, how did we get here? And even though you know these changes are a part of aging, it doesn't make it any easier to accept. But here's the truth: recognizing the signs of muscle loss early is powerful. It's the key to making sure things don't get worse. It's the difference between allowing these changes to control their life or taking back some of that control before it's too late. I know it's not easy to face these truths. It's hard to even think about the possibility that someone you love may be losing their independence because of something like muscle weakness. But hey, Race, the most important thing, you can make a difference. And it starts with understanding what's happening and knowing what to do about it. Instead of feeling helpless, feeling like there's nothing you can do, you now have the power to take proactive steps. You have the knowledge to prevent things from getting worse. You can give your loved one the tools they need to hold on to their strength, their mobility, and their independence for a little bit longer. You have the ability to help them regain control of their body, their confidence, and their life. Now I want you to ask yourself, what if you could take action today if you've noticed any of the signs we talk about: loss of strength, sudden weight loss, poor balance, fatigue, or changes in mobility? Don't wait. Don't put it off for another day. Start now. Help them with gentle strength exercises. Encourage them to get moving and improve their diet. It could be as simple as adding some protein shakes to their meals or taking a few minutes every day to walk together. These small, consistent steps can start to make a big difference in just a short amount of time. And I know it feels overwhelming sometimes. You might feel like you're not doing enough or like the task is too big. But remember this: love, patience, and awareness are the most important things you can offer. You don't need to have all the answers, and you don't need to be perfect. What matters is that you're paying attention, that you care enough to act, and that you're not giving up. You have the power to make a difference in their lives. Whether it's helping them with exercises, making sure they're eating the right foods, or simply being there to support them as they navigate these changes, you're already doing something incredible. Don't let fear or uncertainty stop you from acting. The love you show today could mean more years of quality life, more moments of independence, and more memories to share. So yes, it's hard. Yes, it's emotional, but it's also empowering. You're not alone in this journey. By recognizing the signs and taking small steps, you can make their later years healthier, happier, and more fulfilling. You've got this, and they've got you. All right, let's take a moment to recap the key points we covered today. We talk about the 5 key signs of muscle loss in the elderly: first, a loss of strength, then sudden weight loss, poor balance, fatigue, and a noticeable change in mobility. These are the warning signs that something isn't quite right. And if you notice any of these signs in your loved one, it's crucial to take action immediately. The earlier you catch these changes, the better the chances of reversing muscle loss and improving their overall quality of life. But I don't just want you to take this information and forget about it. I want to hear from you. Which of these signs have you noticed in your elderly loved ones? Have you seen any of these signs creeping up on someone you care about? What steps have you already taken? Or what do you plan to do now that you know more ID love? To hear your thoughts, your experiences, and your stories. Comment below and let's get the conversation started. We're all in this together, and by sharing we can learn from each other and find the best ways to care for those we love. And hey, if you found this video helpful, if you're ready to start taking action and making a real difference in your loved one's life, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing to Elderly Essentials, you'll be the first to know when we release new videos with more valuable tips and advice on elderly care. Every week we bring you the best insights to help you take care of your elderly loved ones and navigate the challenges that come with aging. And before we wrap up, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and for caring enough to learn more about how to improve the lives of your elderly family members. It's not always easy, but every small step you take can make a big difference. Stay strong, stay informed, and remember you're not alone in this journey. Together we can make sure that our elderly loved ones age with dignity, strength, and the best possible care. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and keep doing the amazing work you're doing.